Good morning. It's been 13 days since my last update, and during this time, I've had very slow progression of improvement. And yesterday, I was actually able to stand for the first time from my wheelchair. So that felt great, and it was a big advancement. And I'll be working on that again later today. What I've been finding is that the best course of action to recover seems to be to move at the pace that my body is moving. In other words, excessive workouts don't contribute to improving conditions. It's been explained to me that they actually are detrimental in the sense that as you overstress the available nerve fibers and muscle fibers, you're doing more damage potentially than good. So it seems that being patient, getting plenty of rest, taking care of yourself, eating properly, plenty of hydration, all of that seems to be the best course of action. And even though the progress is, quite slow, it is steady. And so my hope is that as I progress over this phase, I won't encounter another regression. My neurologist tells me that I'm on path for recovery, and it could take, a month ago, he told me it could take 6 months to a year. So that's still a long time and kind of frustrating to have to deal with, but it is what it is. And so I have to just maintain a good demeanor, stay calm, and take care of myself, which is what I'm doing. In the meantime, my wife, Kira, who's been recovering from a pelvic injury that she suffered about a week after I came home from the hospital, she fell, hit the ramp by our doorway, the ramp for the wheelchair, and it ultimately turned out that she suffered injuries to her pelvis, lower pelvis, and her sacral area. But it took a great deal of time, over a month, to diagnose all the injuries because on x-ray, they don't really show up very well. The sacral injuries show up pretty well on CT scan, which she got at the emergency room after her pain continued to be unmanageable. And eventually, her pain continued, and the doctor couldn't understand it. So they ordered MRIs, and she finally got approved for that. And turned out she had these fractures and injuries in her lower pelvis. So pretty severe. There was no treatment other than rest and pain medicine. And so for 3 months, that's what she did. And now she's back at work, starting last week, which is fantastic. As I have mentioned frequently in the posts that I've put up, our financial condition continues to be pretty dire. We've had a great deal of generosity from family and friends, and those of you who keep up with these updates, and the appreciation is immense and unbelievable and inspiring, actually. And it makes me think about what I will be doing as I move forward with my life and recovery. At this point, I feel like everyone who has been following this, friends and family, have contributed. There's only so much you can give. And I really don't want to keep asking you for contributions. I believe that the solution lies in some volunteers in different areas, not necessarily geographically, but different areas where I've known you, and taking on the role of a coordinator for that area and reaching out and identifying about 20 potential donors who perhaps we both knew or that you feel are the type of person who might be interested in helping. And there are people who are remarkably generous and open to contributing. Um, and I feel like we need to widen the circle so that there's a greater exposure and more opportunity for people who are inclined to contribute and to help. And it looks like I've got another 3 months minimum to be able to get functional enough to get up, walk around without the wheelchair, using a walker and ultimately a cane. And when I reach that stage, when I reach that stage, I'll be able to start making money again. My primary income for the past 3 years has been driving Lyft and Uber and occasionally doing Instacart. So Lyft and Uber are less physically demanding. And once I'm able to walk around with some minimal level of assistance, I'll be able to do that again quite sufficiently. And that does, it does suffice. And I meet a lot of really, really interesting people. And that's something I really enjoy. And it's something that I'm going to be finding a way to share in the future, so that some of the interesting people I've met and some of their amazing stories, I'm going to put together a way to share that so that other people can hear these same amazing and interesting life stories. Anyway, I really appreciate you taking the time to follow up, your encouragement, all your support. It's just been amazing, and part of the reason why I've been able to maintain a good sense of patience and hope and belief that ultimately I'll recover, and no matter what, I will be able to find a way to work with whatever the realities of the outcome are, and continue to have a great and worthwhile life. And so thank you once again for everything. Thank you for listening. I hope that you'll take the time to think about if you might be able to spread the word to key people that maybe we both knew, maybe you know, who would be inclined to help our situation, and really allow me to get through the next couple of months until I become self-supporting. So thank you again. Feel free to call me to ask me any questions. I always love to hear from people, and I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so very much, and God bless.